Welcome to Motorskid. This is our second episode. All right. The interesting topic of today is after sales and sales, or you call it sales and after sales. Either one of them.
I think sales. Well, after sales equals sales. That's how it should be.
Yes.
Yeah, because
That
I
would
think
be the topic today.
after sales is super important. I think honestly for me the first thing is parts. I feel like parts are everything. Before I buy a bike, I always like scan the dealership and make sure that they're fine. If I can't rely on the dealerships out here, what I do is I try and go online and find out the parts are
I
available.
would have said that Google.
Yeah, I think it's important to know that you have the parts available and that it's not non-existent anymore. You know, so that
Well, it is a concern part because what happened is if I'm buying a bike and if it drops down, my first bike ever, and if it drops down and the clutch lever breaks off or the brake lever breaks off, I wouldn't be happy showing it to my friends that, hey, you know what, I dropped a bike and all this happened. I would rather have it immediately fixed. That's when the parts availability is required.
I think, so what happens with motorcycles, there are 1,000 parts in a motorcycle. I can understand that all dealerships can't have every single part available. It's completely understandable and stuff. But I think the basics, like you said, as soon as you drop a bike, should we drop this bike as a sample? So I think the very important things to understand is the first things that go, and usually in a crash is the mirrors, you've got the levers, you've got the bar ends, definitely, the handlebar, the clip-ons for some, foot pegs, fairings. I can understand. The fairings are not cheap. Every motorcycle has a category, and that means different colors, different everything. So I can understand when they don't have fairings.
But a lot of parts with them, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, but oil filters, you know, the main bare necessities basically.
The serviceability parts.
Yeah, the service parts are so important. I feel like some of the dealerships, they just take way too much advantage, and they just say, you know what, if you guys want it, we'll order it for you. I've had dealerships telling me that they need 2 months, they need 3 months to deliver, and I'm like, our riding period, like our season is 3 months.
That's
I'm
right.
like, if you're gonna get me the parts in 3 months time, what am I gonna do? What's the point of me owning a motorcycle?
I'm not going to mention brands, but you know what we faced on some of the builds.
I would say actually all the dealers should focus on not just the service parts but bringing in the new bike. So service is the priority. It's the minimum bare good at damage. Could be the clutch lever, brake lever, the shifter peg. Because when he just said let's drop the bike, I was just thinking about hey, hold on. It's not just the lever. It's the shifter which gets damaged quicker, and that you can't even shift in the middle of the road, or you can't ride it for longer with that.
You can't get home, right?
That matters a lot. Yes, parts availability is one of the greatest things, and I think every dealer which they don't really focus is this basic requirement is easy breakable items.
I believe about when you're talking about parts availability, is it because you guys worked in a dealership? Because I never had this mindset as a consumer. We never think of it. This is when I started hanging out with you guys. I'm more aware of whether to make the purchase decision based on the availability of parts.
I'm very, very particular about parts. Like honestly, so the last bike that I bought was the Suzuki, and the Suzuki, the reason I got it was just because of the availability and it's not even the dealership that has the parts. That's not what it is. It's about how many bikes are in the market already that have, God forbid, accidents or whatever, aftermarket support. There's so much availability for Suzuki at the moment in our market that it just made it. I went blindfolded, to be honest. I was just like, what am I gonna lose? I'm like, there were days where I needed some random parts or whatever, and it's just made a phone call, and the guy's like, hey, I don't have it, but I know a guy who does have it. Call him up, and if he doesn't have it, he knows another guy. And it honestly was just like a diagram. I was just going all over the place, and I got everything I wanted in like 3 days time.
In simpler words, it's like owning a Toyota in the Middle East market. Parts are everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, you're right, very much right.
It definitely feels that way. I mean, the thing is that the support was amazing, Like, honestly, it's not even having the dealership, relying on the dealership, you're relying on the community, the motorcycle community to come together.
I love what you just said, that there were people actually really supporting you, letting you know, hey, the parts are available here, call up this guy or that guy. One or another at least is there to help and support. But that's the beauty of the Bikers Club. But then parts availability actually clicks on the first thing. That's a priority. And I think, you know what, we should actually, if you have some time, we can talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the parts as well. I think part 2 of this video needs to be about service and the service advisor.